For 2 days every year, hundreds of thousands of candidates sit for their primary leaving examinations to assess their readiness to join secondary school. This examination is the sole criterion used for admission to secondary school. Later, head teachers from across the country have to select students for admission based on the results of these exams. For instance, during this year's Senior 1 selection exercise, over 50,000 students reportedly missed admission into Senior 1 due to their poor performance. National examinations like PLE focus on what a learner knows and remembers over the 7 years, as opposed to what they can do as an individual at a certain stage in their life. Stakeholders in the education sector say this has fostered a system that is based on cram work.
And that's how children are progressively moving on, by simply what we call rote learning. The children learn to pass exams, not to build skills. And there is a need for that element of skills. I'll give you an example. Sometime back, children used to do some reasonable handwork. Children used to do some school gardening. But now, the schools, quite a number of them, especially the private schools, don't even have space for gardening.
A recently released World Bank report entitled Facing Forward, Schooling for Learning in Africa recommended the abolition of national assessment programs such as PLE and the Uganda Certificate of Education in favor of continuous assessment.
This needs to be planned for. What kind of planning do you need to make it work? You need to prepare all stakeholders for this change. There are quite a number of people benefiting from this PLE, the private investors, and so on.
Continuous assessment involves evaluating students over practical skills, attitudes, and values over a period of time, compared to the present system where students' abilities are evaluated in only 2 days.
So those competences we have to lay out, call them competences or outcomes, and then we agree at the system how we are going to assess them. In my opinion, that assessment has to start from year 1, grade 1. Because you don't just wake up one day and become competent, for example, in reading or in critical thinking.
In 1987, the Kajubi Report on Education in Uganda, authored by the late Professor William Senteza Kajubi, had advocated for continuous assessment as a way of increasing enrollment in higher education. With the idea being mooted again, a lot of research is needed for the feasibility of doing away with PLE.
It's only going to succeed if we agree on those competences, you can call them outcomes, that we want or we wish these kids to attain. We need to benchmark systems where this has worked.
It doesn't mean that we should simply throw away the current UNEB system. I still insist it needs comprehensive research. And when you are doing comprehensive research and you refer to Finland, you should also consider the circumstances in which the Finland children live. A teacher in Uganda is gambling, is struggling. A teacher in Finland is provided with everything. A teacher in Finland is taking care of 25 children. A teacher in Uganda is taking care of 100 children. There is a big difference.
Continuous assessment, if gradually and properly implemented, could resurrect an education sector that has been in steady decline over the last 25 years. Gillian Nantume, NTV.